Yo, man. Welcome back to the Words from RJ YouTube channel, man. Also, this is going on the podcast, the Words from RJ podcast. So if you listen on the podcast, what it do? What it do today, man? I want to talk to y'all about my spiritual journey. Like, how did I start it? How did I get on it in the first place and how it's been so far? So I definitely want to talk to you guys about that. I hope y'all been doing well, man. Um, I've been dropping a lot of content, a lot of podcast episodes. The most recent episode I've dropped right now is Escaping from the Matrix. I talk about this system, the simulation that we live in, right? And we didn't consent to it, but we're all living in a simulation. So go check out that episode if you haven't already. Fire episode is doing well so far. So boom. I want to talk to you guys about your spiritual journey. It's probably like you see, I got the crystals on. Hold on, let me see. Got the crystals on, you feel me? It's probably it's probably some people on their spiritual journey right now or trying to get on their spiritual journey. But I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I got on mine. So it actually started from a relationship, y'all. Believe it or not. It started from a relationship. Um my longest relationship, it was for a year, right? It was for a year. And throughout the whole year, it was just like a lot of arguing, a lot of petty arguments, toxic arguments. If someone was to ask me right now, what was the stuff about, the arguments couldn't even tell you type shit. So long story short, a lot of those, right? And it was just becoming so draining. Like I was becoming a person I knew I wasn't. Like I'm naturally happy. I laugh. I like to crack jokes and shit. You feel me? Who wants to argue all day? And not just me, anybody who wants to argue all day. You feel me? So boom. I want to say we was like on and off for a year. It's my longest relationship, and we was like on and off. And then after the end, y'all, at the end of the relationship, we was like done. And I ran across this chick. I ran across this goddess. My bad, not this chick. I ran across this goddess. I had been following her Instagram for a minute, but we ended up, exchanging numbers and DM and just, ended up chatting. And she was already on her spiritual journey, right? And she just sent me something about chakras. She started talking about chakras. I said, "What are chakras?" Something told me, something told me to say, "What are chakras?" See, I feel like somebody that wasn't ready to start the journey yet, they might have just been like, might have just skipped over it. It was like, "Oh, what a shocker." They probably just thought that in their head, but they wouldn't actually ask. You feel what I'm saying? So I actually asked her, I'm like, "What are chakras?" She ended up sending me a little picture explaining it. And I really looked into it. And then from there, y'all, from there it was up. Like my spiritual journey actually started from a toxic relationship. And since I started my spiritual journey, I grew so much. I grew a lot. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. Like the universe aligns things for a reason. Like it was that time, it was that time for me to start. And this energy that's in the planet, a lot of people are starting their journeys. A lot of people are, you know, waking up. The conscious is rising, across the whole planet. So you can expect a lot more people to start, waking up and just maybe starting their spiritual journey, breaking from this matrix. I don't necessarily like to be called, woke or whatever the case may be. I feel like it's kind of like a trend. I just know self. I am that I am. Simple. I know that I'm a god, and we are all gods and goddesses if you're a female, right? So I know who I am. I know self. So after I met her, this was back in like maybe August 2021. Probably like August 2021, y'all. And shit, since then, I ain't gonna lie, when I first got started, I was tested. I was tested like a mug, y'all. So let me give y'all a quick little story. I cut grass. I cut grass. So boom, it was last summer. I was cutting a yard, y'all. I was cutting a yard. And I didn't bring my push more. I only had the riding boy. You feel me? I only had the riding boy where you sit on it, you just ride that mug. The boys go, them boys get up too, they fast. But anyway, I left my push more, y'all, and I couldn't get through the gate. Y'all tried to unscrew the gate from the ground, unlift the ground, like unscrew the gate from her house, and then lift the pole up from the just doing a lot. And then when I finally got back there, this is like a 2 hour thing before I even got got to be able to cut the grass. I left mine at the crib, so I had to go down the street to my uncle's house. Then I had to go drop it back off after I finished the backyard, and the backyard was big as hell to be using the push more, and not to mention it was high as hell because it was the first cut of the summer, right? So boom, it was just like little stuff like that, y'all. You gonna get tested when you first start your journey. That's basically what I'm saying. You gonna get tested, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be shy away from because you got to know that it's a test. And I didn't fold. If I would have got so frustrated, fuck, and just started cussing and just said, man, I ain't doing this, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I was frustrated, but I was breathing in. I kept just calming down, just breathing in. You got to learn to not stress over things you can't control, y'all. And that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things I've been learning. I still learn. I still, work on to this day. You got to not stress over things you can't control. It's a lot of things that's going to happen that we have zero control over. And that's just what it is. We have zero control over it. So why stress about it? Why drive yourself crazy, these thoughts in your mind, right? Life is going to kick our ass. Look at stuff as lessons. What did I learn from this situation? What did I learn from this lesson? You feel me? So boom. That was the situation when I first got tested with the grass situation. But since then, it's just been, I've learned myself, right? It's a better feeling when you have clarity on yourself. It's a better feeling when you can go into meditation and get clarity on things and you don't have to ask somebody. I mean, you can get an opinion on something, don't get me wrong, but if you really want to know something, your soul knows all truth. That's how you find out who you really are. That's how you find out your powers. That's how you connect with your ancestors, right? True, true meaning of knowing self. So when you start your spiritual journey or wake up, because everybody's not going to do it at the same time, and it's not something you should force on somebody. It's not something you should force on somebody, y'all. So that was my journey's been, it's been great. I haven't looked back, and now when I understand, not understand because I don't stand under shit. When I understand the information that I've been learning, I put it out there to you guys so we all can grow. And guess what? Once you understand and learn the information, guess what you should do? You should put your friends on. You should put the trenches on. You should put your homies on. Put the gang on. So we all wake up. You feel me? We all realize who the true ops is. So we ain't shooting at each other, killing each other. You feel me? We all realize who the true ops is, which is our oppressors, these elites, the Rothschilds, Bilderberg Group, Illuminati, the Vatican. Look those things up. Look those things up. Do your research on it. I just gave y'all a whole bunch of stuff to do some research on so you find out the truth of what's been going on in this matrix. And and that's how you raise in frequency. That's how you ascend. Once you start your spiritual journey, you look at the world, you look at life totally different. Like most a lot of people aren't in 3D no more, but actually it is a lot of people still in 3D actually. They just see stuff. They can't see stuff for what it is. They just see something. Like what they see is what they believe. You feel me? Versus when you're on your spiritual journey, you've been in meditation, you're rising, you're ascending, you're learning new information. You see the world totally different. You see this world completely totally different. You feel me? Like you see it for what it is, a simulation, a game. That's literally what it is. It's literally what's going on. And there's people that's vibrating it. See, when I say 5D, 3D, those are dimensions. That's just like consciousness. So it's like, knowledge. So it's like when it's people on this planet that's vibrating at like 11D, 10D, 9D, 12D. You feel me? They've been doing this for a minute, meditating for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, probably longer than that. The longest I've ever meditated was 20 minutes, but I do make meditation an everyday thing. You need to meditate every day. Rather you're just motivating yourself, rather you're trying to get clarity on something, rather you're trying to, ask the universe for something. You know, you need to learn how to meditate. You need to get into meditation. I can make some videos. Let me know in the comments if I should make some videos about meditation. I have TikTok videos on it, but I feel like I'm gonna make a YouTube video on it and post it to the Words from RJ podcast too. So that's pretty much how my spiritual journey's been. Those are like kind of like some tips that I got for you guys. But there's no, like I said, there's no better feeling than knowing yourself. You shouldn't want somebody to know you better than you. I'm reading energy. I'm reading Psalms, words from Rashad Jamal. I know how to read people's energy. Third eye wide open. I'm seeing stuff for what it is. I could just read people. I could just read people's energy. Trusting my intuition. That's all a part of ascending. That's all a part of ascending. So you got to learn these things. Learn these things on your spiritual journey. Those are my tips. And that's how my spiritual journey's been. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hold on. Can't forget the words from RJ merch. The link will be in the bio. If you guys want to support the podcast, support the YouTube channel, the link will be in the bio. I got more colors, more shirts, more collections. Just check out the link. Check out the website. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Check out the Words from RJ podcast, Escaping the Matrix episode if you haven't already. Y'all be safe. And let me know if y'all start y'all spiritual journey. Peace. Love y'all.